Hi everybody, Grace here from gracefulcoaching.net and welcome to today's Grace Note. Today I want to speak to those of you that are really struggling, pushing. Maybe you don't realize you're pushing, maybe you don't realize you're hustling, but you'll definitely know if you're feeling exhausted, stressed, if you're getting urgent about things, and if you're feeling anxious. So this Grace Note will be helpful to you in really helping you come back to center and in helping you really find your answer, your solution. So here's what I want to share with you today. I want to share with you that sometimes we are going to experience particular challenges in life. And as much as we want to be out of those challenges, as much as we want to be away from them, there is something around learning to wait well that I have seen to be so helpful. So let's say your challenge right now is money. That tends to be a challenge for most people, okay? Like the money situation you're in, understandably, you want out of. But have you noticed that the more you think about the situation, the less solution comes to you? Now that's interesting because what happens is, and for whatever reason, we have learned that when we have a situation that we want out of, we have learned that we should think more about it. But no solution ever comes from thinking harder about the problem. Okay, so this is what I've really seen to be true. People are going around all the time, like thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking about their situation and their problem. And they're creating what I call these towers of thought. Okay, so let me help you see that here. Okay, these towers of thought that just build up and up and up and up and up. So if you can imagine right now the Leaning Tower of Pisa, okay, in Italy, that's a tower that leans over to one side. Well, we all have these leaning towers at different points in time in our life. So maybe you have a leaning tower of insecurity about money. Maybe you have a leaning tower of judgment about yourself. Maybe you have a leaning tower of, concern, okay? That's a common one, to always be in concern about the future, about the present, about the past, about your behaviors, okay? These leaning towers of thought, we get locked into them. And when we're locked in those leaning towers of thought, we can't find the key by leaning further into the thinking. Leaning further into the tower, that's not where the key to freedom lies. The key to freedom in your situation really is to, first of all, wait well. Okay, we can't force ourselves out of the tower. Doesn't matter how many books you read, doesn't matter how many events you go to. Okay, when you're in the tower, you're there. But the good news is you will come out. And the second thing is beyond waiting well, is that the key to our freedom is that as our thinking quietens down, okay, the door unlocks. Now we are designed, okay, we are designed to quieten down. It doesn't matter how revved up you are, how locked in your tower you are. We are designed to quieten down. And one of the things that helps us quieten down is to stop looking at the situation, to stop thinking about where the answer is, to stop forcing our agenda on life. And so when you're in the tower, wait well, okay? You're going to come out of it, and no amount of overthinking and constantly worrying about the situation, and I know you get this intellectually, none of that amount of efforting is where the solution resides. Okay, so my encouragement for you, is that you allow yourself to just be where you are. That's radical, because so much of today's world is geared towards insisting that you improve yourself, that you get out of your tower, that you basically don't be where you're at, that you do better. But I have learned, if we leave it alone, it takes care of itself. We all have access to this incredible wisdom within. It's the same energy that turns acorns into oak trees and embryos into babies without you or I having to think about it. And it's available to you. It will guide you. And so if you find yourself just really locked in the noise, and you'll know by how you feel, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling exhausted, we really underestimate how tired we are because of our thinking. This was a revelation to me. I used to think I was tired because, the weather was crap. I slept too much or too little. I ate the wrong food. I always assumed my tiredness was a result of something I was doing wrongly, or something wrong happening out there. And it wasn't until I went on my first few retreats with my own mentors and I accessed this deep space of quiet, and it felt so refueling. The thinking, the thoughts all quietened down. And I discovered that was where well-being came from. That was where well-being rose up inside of me. It had nothing to do with how much sleep I got or what I ate or avoided eating. That was where I really discovered energy and vitality. And so again, don't underestimate the level of mental activity you're in, the thought towers you're getting locked into. They will make you very tired. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just a recognition that you may not quite realize where your tiredness is coming from. There's a lot of research even now, and I won't speak specifically to this because I'm not expert in this field. However, I've seen and I've been engaging with a lot of research that connects the level of biochemistry that goes on with the level of thinking we're in. So there is this thought-feeling connection. There is this thought-feeling connection. And so again, the feelings you're in are letting you know when you're locked in the towers, feelings of anxiousness, feelings of exhaustion, feelings of hopelessness, feelings of confusion. Now here's the beauty. That's all subject to change as you quieten down. As your wisdom bursts through, pierces through the intellect and the noise and the tower, that's all going to quieten down. And, that is one of the things that I love to help people with the most. I invite them here to come on retreat with me in Italy. And I even build in siesta, afternoon napping, for people to come and experience the coaching, experience the travel, but also rest into the wisdom within. And whatever form they take, insecure thought, self-concerned thought about your image perhaps, or whatever else, you know, anxious thoughts about the future, about money, about your business, whatever it is, as you start to recognize when you're getting lost there, it's built into you to really let yourself out of the tower, to really let yourself find the freedom to move past. So I'm encouraging you not to lean into your tower of thought, not to keep thinking about the problem and the situation, but to wait well when you're there. Just wait well when you're there, okay? Often we are given these moments in time and space in our life because we're getting ready for something different or something new. And what I see people doing all the time is I see them really resisting, really forcing their agenda and resisting the sort of the moment they're in, wanting it to be over, not realizing that if they simply use that time to fuel up, to rest, to be quiet, to walk, to cook, to cycle, to move, to meditate, to do whatever it is that their wisdom calls them to, then they would actually be fueling themselves for what's next. So I'd love to know what you're hearing in this one, what your big takeaway is, and feel free to comment below or write to me directly on gracefulcoaching@gmail.com, and I'd be delighted to hear from you. In the meantime, you know, I encourage you strongly to just, you know, be gentle when you're lost in that tower, and to wait well. And I'll be back with you soon with another video. Ciao.